All right, hi guys. It is Tuesday, April 5th, 2016, and welcome to our multi-team call. We've got a wonderful, amazing team here that's combined with Team Inspiration, and we are so excited to learn more about Charity and her downline and her team. But first, before we start with her, we have a few announcements to go over first. The first would be our challenge packs that are on sale. I'm sure this probably is a review for all of you, but since it's the beginning of the month and things have changed from last month, I'm just going to go ahead and quickly overview what they are. Hammer and Chisel is back. So Hammer and Chisel, Shakeology, and the performance packs are both on sale for $160. The club, which I think this is new, the club challenge pack, which is normally $140, is now being combined with the portion fix, which is really cool, and that is $140. The club kickstart with the portion fix challenge pack is $180. So that's the club, so the 90-day club, the 3-day refresh, and the portion fix are all $180. And then the club with portion fix performance pack, so instead of the shaker, you're getting the performance pack, and that is the energize and the recover. Those that is again also $140. So those are our challenge pack offers going on this month. And the second announcement would be diamond training. So our diamond training has taken off. We started yesterday. The pot is up to $700, which is awesome. And just to review with people who maybe aren't in the diamond training but are interested as to really what it is, there are certain requirements for people if they to make them eligible to win the pot or a portion of the pot, depending upon how many meet these requirements. So the first is that they have to complete all of the assignments. It's a 30-day training. And really, we don't have assignments on the weekends. We just kind of have motivational posts on the weekends. So Monday through Friday, we've got assignments. They all have to be completed. The person has to reach diamond rank by the 12th of May. They have to also personally sponsor 4 new coaches and have 1 PS coach advance to Emerald. So it's not just reaching diamond that will get you to win the pot or a portion of the pot. You have to meet these other criteria to make it fair for everyone. Okay, so that's off to a great start. We've got some awesome people in that group. So the third announcement would be the Summit app was just launched, I believe, yesterday. So if you're going to Summit, make sure that you download the app and it will show you the different tracks. So far there are the blue and the silver, and the registration for the general registration for tracks is going to open up on April 18th. Now there are some lucky people who get to do early registration on the 11th, which happens to be my birthday. And unfortunately, they wouldn't let me register early because it's my birthday. So I have to be either a 2015 Elite or Premier, which I'm not, a Superstar, an All-Star Legend, a 5-star and above, or if you're a Summit speaker. So all of those get to register on the 11th. And then our final announcement is that, and feel free to chime in if you guys have any other announcements for your team, Charity. But we are going to be doing a Hammer and Chisel live event this coming Thursday. So the event is up. We're actively inviting and actively messaging people privately for this live event. So we're going to be going over, you know, what Hammer and Chisel is, what it involves, what equipment is required. We're going to talk about the nutrition stuff. So, you know, feel free to take a peek at that. Join us on Thursday night, and it is at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And that is all that I have right now for announcements. We usually do points, but since it's just a massive group, we're just going to hold off. It's still so early in the month that if anybody has points and they want to bring them up, that's cool too. But if not, I will let Erin take over.
Meg for doing the announcements. It is my great honor to have a special guest on our call tonight, Charity Brooks. She's my upline coach, and she's been a coach since 2009. Correct me if I'm wrong with any of this. She's a lifetime 3-star diamond coach, and you know, I know most of us are aware that we've had some changes in leadership recently, and Charity has handled it all with grace and has been an integral part of the blending of our teams. And I'm really happy to have her on the call tonight to share her story with us.
Well, thank you so much. But really, the credit goes to all of us as a team for coming together and working together. I'm just so proud of each and every one of our family members. That's what we are. We're not just a team, we're a family. And I appreciate each and every one of you and your help in making this transition go so smoothly. So thank you. And okay, so I'm Charity, and I live in the middle of nowhere. I'm in my backyard right now, but right over the fence is like sheep and goats and farm fields. And I really live in the middle of nowhere. I signed up to be a coach 6.5 years ago. My coach, Hillary Kelly, found me on Facebook, and I was doing P90X and Chalene Extreme. I bought the legal versions. I felt totally guilty about it, but I was broke. And maybe some of you know, or maybe you don't know, but I'm also a hairdresser and a salon owner. And I opened up my salon 12 years ago in January. When I had my daughter, I didn't realize that I would fall in love and want to stay home with her. So I cut my hours by 75%. And my husband at the time, we were really extremely broke. And you know that awkward time? I mean, maybe you've never been in this situation. Maybe you have. Where you're like, oh gosh, I need to go and buy something at Walmart. Oh, I have this thing I'm going to go return, and then I'll exchange it for some food. Like, it was uncomfortable. And I hated feeling that way because I'm a business owner and an entrepreneur. I like having money, but I didn't have any because I decided to stay home with my daughter. So I started with P90X, and I saw this little thing on Beachbody, and I thought, oh, well, that sounds kind of cool. This coach thing, I don't really know what it's about, but I like that I could save 75%. So I remember when Hillary sent me the business webinar. Mind you, Hillary was a brand new coach. She had like 50 friends on Facebook when she friend requested me. She's a superstar diamond. I don't know if you know, my coach is like amazing rock star. She went from bankrupt to millionaire in 3 years. And I got to sit right next to her when she did this. So amazing. So she sent me the business webinar, and I'm like, oh, when's this thing going to be over? I will never be one of those successful people. No way, no how. But I would like to save 75 or 25% because I really want to try this Shakeology stuff, which I'm drinking right now. I love it. 7 years later. So anyway, I remember taking the leap and buying my Shakeology and my Insanity. And I'm like, well, it makes sense. I'm going to save money. I'm going to do this. I'm really broke. I signed up to be a coach. I didn't tell my husband. Like for 2 months, I didn't tell him. So anyway, I got to work, and I kept thinking, I'm not going to be one of those people. I'm just going to do it for the discount. But all of a sudden, I got this $19 check, and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm going to get this stuff for free. I'm going to make enough money to pay for my Shakeology, and I'll never have to tell my husband. So I got to work, and I just started sharing on Facebook. I didn't do anything special, okay? I live in the middle of nowhere, and I had a kid. I have a kid. She's 8 now. She doesn't really like when I go out and talk, and I'm a talker. So my only option was Facebook, and I have this philosophy. If you're on Facebook, you might as well be making money. And so that's why I love Beachbody so much, because I did it, and I'm doing it, and I love it. So anyway, I just remember this moment. I went to my first summit as a brand new Emerald, and I was like, this cruise sounds really awesome. I've always wanted to take my kid on a cruise, or my family on a cruise, but I've never been able to afford it. Like, vacations before Beachbody was traveling 7 hours in the car to stay with my ex-mother-in-law on her couch, and there was always drama. It sucked. And so like it wasn't a vacation. I'd always come back and like be more frustrated with my life. So I remember hearing about this cruise and I thought, okay, maybe I could do this. But probably not, because I'm not going to be one of those successful people. Well, I did it. I've earned every trip since becoming a coach, and I never thought I'd be one of those people, one of those successful people. And I still sometimes am kind of a little shocked. So my first goal as a coach was to make enough to pay for my Shakeology. And I was dealing with a lot of drama in my home. My ex-husband, yes, we're divorced. I'm a single mom now. He hated everything about Beachbody. You're in a cult. It's like stupid. Why would you do that? You're going to fail. And you know what? The way that I am, I'm like, I'm going to prove you wrong. So probably a little less than a year into the business, I was making enough to pay for my mortgage. And I live in California. I own my own home. And he's like, oh, that's pretty cool. Then I'm like, how about we hire you a landscaper? And then he's like, oh, this Beachbody thing's pretty cool. So I was just sharing on Facebook, talking to people, always trying to be more of a friend than a salesperson. I am not a salesperson at all. And probably like 3 years into the business, I started earning 6 figures. Like, what? I wasn't going to be one of those successful people. But I did it because I knew that I could share with people, and I was always a friend, not being a salesperson, because I think it's gross. I don't want to be a salesperson. But I understood how volume works and building my business. And I realized, does everybody understand how Team Cycle bonus works? Yeah. So you have 2 to 1. And if you don't understand, please send me a message, or let's post and talk about it on the team page. I knew that if I built my business with, let's face it, you might sign up 10 people and maybe 1 person will work the business. It's just a numbers game. You never know. I wasn't going to be a rock star. And, here I am almost 7 years later, and I'm a single mom, and I own my own home, and Beachbody is how I support my daughter and I. And it still blows me away that this is my life. I get to be home 100% with my daughter. I mean, how many moms that are either married or single have that luxury? My ex-husband doesn't pay for anything. So anyway, I'm kind of like rambling a little bit, but I've had some really amazing milestones in my business. Let's see, about 4 years into the business, my ex-husband was able to quit his full-time job and be home with us 100% of the time, which was really awesome for us as a family. Sorry, do you hear the sirens?
It's okay.
So anyway, that was really awesome. But when our marriage was failing and I was in this toxic, abusive marriage, I had this peace in my heart. Sorry, that's really loud.
Are they coming for you, Charity?
They're like, oh my gosh. Okay, it's gone now. But I had this peace in my heart when I was going through my divorce and my separation. And it kind of makes me teary-eyed just to think that I was so blessed with this business at a time in my life when I really needed it, because I can't imagine my life if I didn't have this business. I still have my salon, and I go in there maybe once or twice a month, but I'm rarely there. And to be behind the chair, which I love doing hair, it's awesome, but it's not my passion anymore. But I just can't imagine what my life would be like. I miss everything with my daughter. And, being able to get out of my abusive marriage and find this community of friends, my family right here on this Zoom call, I mean, that's huge. I didn't have that before Beachbody. And it's kind of funny. I seem like an extrovert, but I'm more of an introvert. Sherilyn and I were talking about this recently. I don't have a lot of friends, and I was lacking that support before becoming a coach. And since becoming a coach, I'm so much more fulfilled. 1, because of the personal development, but 2, because we are all on this mission to help change people's lives and our own lives. And it's just is so amazing. And, I wish I could give my energy and enthusiasm to every single person I ever talk to, but not everybody will get it. And that's why I'm glad we could do team calls like this, because some of you I've known for a really long time, but some of you I'm just barely getting to know. Some of us have been coaches for a long time. Others of us are brand new, but this is all just a learning process. And I just love that, we can all be there to support each other. And in my old life as a teenager, I always had a hard time with friends, like girls being so dramatic and rude and cutthroat or whatever. And I love that I can be with so many amazing women and not feel that way. And it's just really, really blessed my life. So I have a list of some business tips that I wrote out. Are you guys interested in hearing them?
Yes, please.
Okay. All right. So let's see. I have it open on Facebook. Let's see. You guys can still see me, right? Okay. Okay. So these aren't in any particular order, but okay. My top tip, and this is actually, I would say my top tip. Stop comparing yourself to everybody. Okay. It's so easy to get caught up on what so-and-so's doing over there in her business and what the heck is wrong with me, and getting into the whole comparison game. We're all different. Don't try and copy other coaches' posts and make them your own. If you have lots of friends on Facebook that have lots of coaches on their friends list, they're all going to know, be real. People will see through it if you're trying to be fake. Don't compare yourself to anybody else. Be you and, share yourself. Sorry. My Facebook is getting notifications. Hopefully not too many. Okay. My next one. Success comes when you love people more than you love your product. Right? Don't you hate when you're like, oh my gosh, this Shakeology is so great. I think it's really great, and it's good to share those posts, but share why. Why do you love it? Talk about your product, but why, and it helps you, and why you love your product, and share that more than. Okay, I don't know where the Zoom went, but are you guys still there?
Yes.
Okay, I don't know where the window went. You're gone. Okay. I know, I'm in a really goofy mood today, so don't mind me. Okay, my next one, I'll just speed this up if you want. Stay out of your comfort zone. Guys, only way to grow is to get out of your comfort zone. I loved what Shalene says, and I learned this early on, is you got to get comfortable with being uncomfortable. When you're sweaty palmed and your heart's racing, that's when you're going to have the breakthroughs in your life and in your business. So get comfortable with it. Do something every day that's going to make you uncomfortable. Today, I got uncomfortable for 10 minutes when I did a live stream on my business page. I'm sure I made a total dork of myself, but it's okay. People will get to know you better when you step out of your comfort zone. Oh, and those before and after photos, they always freak me out. And those are the ones that get the most, oh my gosh, you're amazing. You inspire me. Let me buy a challenge pack and sign up to be a coach and become a 15-star diamond. Okay, maybe that's an exaggeration. But kill me, okay? Personal development is key. Do not skip it ever. I'm always listening on my phone. In my ears, listening to audiobooks. I love the Audible app. I'm sure you guys do too. Make sure that you are either reading or listening. For me, I like to listen more than I do read, because I have a problem sitting still. I always feel like there's 10 million things going on. So do whatever works best for you, but do not skip personal development. And always remember that this business is about sharing. When you come from a place of truly wanting to help people and sharing what you love, you will not feel afraid to invite your challenge group. We all have something that is changing so many lives, so don't be afraid to share. I'm just reading my notes. I wrote these several months ago. Okay. And let's see, time management. You guys, make sure you are doing your power hour and don't get caught up on the news feed. I do it all the time too. I'm like, oh my gosh, look at those puppies. They're so cute. And here I was like trying to remember to follow up for the coach open house that we did last week. And I'm getting like distracted. It happens so often. Or the cool vacation pictures. Try to stay focused. If you have to, put your phone in airplane mode, which is something I learned at Smart Success, is just really trying to minimize the distractions around you and staying focused on what you need to do. And always remember, this is my last tip that I have written down, always remember that you need to build relationships first before business. People buy from you when they know you, like you, and trust you. Get to know people before you start talking to business or trying to sell them. Let people know you care and you are there to help when and if they need you. And I always like to think of the annoying salesperson that follows me around the store and will not leave me alone. I hate that. I'm like, I'm just looking, please leave me alone. You don't want to be like that on Facebook. It's extremely annoying, okay? For me, it's a complete turnoff that makes me want to run fast and far. It's the same thing online. Don't be that random person random messaging people you've never talked to about joining your team or buying your product. Get to know people by talking to them and forming relationships. So those are all my notes. Let's see here. Oh, there we are. I'm back on the Zoom.
Yay.
Yay. Okay. You can open it up for questions if you guys like, or thoughts, or hopefully I didn't talk too much and ramble on too much.
Thank you so much for sharing all of that with us. Unmute yourselves if you want to ask Charity a question.
Hey, Charity.
Hi.
Something that I just have always loved about you that I think is important that you should share that makes you different than I think a lot of other coaches that have been around the business for so long. Can you discuss how you focused more on quality versus quantity? And that is part of the reason why you are so very successful, is because you have a astronomically profound, amazing foundation to your business as far as clients are concerned.
Oh my gosh. First of all, can you write that down as a huge compliment?
Absolutely.
Well, it just comes from me. I'm just who I am. I don't try to be anybody else, even though people say I look like pink all the time. And last week it was like Khloe Kardashian. So weird. Anyway, I just really am who I am. I don't try to be anybody else. Early on in the business, I was like getting all these like, you should do this, you should do that, you should do this, that, and that. And I stopped comparing myself because it's like so many distractions. It's like it can give you a headache and it can paralyze you. I just started to really only care about like what I think. And I think that's hard for women. You know what I mean? I just don't care. I mean, okay, there are some people I care about, their opinion, but I mean, I'm not going to let it define who I am or stop me from what I'm doing. I mean, this might sound bad, but a lot of times I just only focus on our team, and I don't like go and look at a whole bunch of different team pages. I'm on several. I just try to focus on me and what my mission is rather than getting distracted. And I really, really try to work on relationships. I try to talk to everybody I know, just like I am with you guys. I mean, this is just the real deal. Sitting here in my backyard, being real. Just, either you're going to like me or you won't, and that's okay. But I think a lot of people do like me, so that's always nice too. It's just really being real and just sharing your heart with people.
Do you have a system for like what you share or how you do it? Is there a system where you just kind of randomly will just share when you can?
Well, this is the truth. I think sometimes I'm guilty of having business ADD. And some of you already know this because we've talked, but I'm like, oh my gosh, I have the best idea. I'm going to do it right now. And it's going to be so awesome. And I don't really think it through because I always get the best ideas and I get really excited about it, but it just doesn't really work out. So I've been working with a business coach for the last 6 months who's really told me, okay, you need to like have a plan. This is what you need to do every single month. It needs to be clockwork. And I'm just really getting into that rhythm in my own business. For sharing my personal stories, I kind of just made this little challenge up just for myself because I thought it'd be cool. Like, make a goal of sharing one personal story a week. I mean, that's just what I'm doing, and I haven't been as good lately, but like going from being divorced to being a single mom to being in an abusive relationship. Okay, I know not everybody's gonna be really comfortable with sharing like those scary things, but when you are comfortable and you're not crying, that was one of the things I learned from Bo Eason. I went to his storytelling event. It was like a 3-day event. I did him and Brendan Burchard last year, and they both are like, don't share the story that you're crying your eyes out about. Like, only share a story that you're done crying about, right? And just share your heart, because even though I share about being in an abusive marriage and surviving that, and you know, my ex-husband cheated on me, and like all this crazy stuff happened to me, like, what does that have to do with Beachbody coaching? Well, it makes you more real, because a lot of times people will look at you and think, oh man, you know, she's got her whole life together. But you know what? We've all been a mess in one way or another. And sharing that builds trust, and people will want to work with you if they know you, like you, and trust you, which I'm always saying. So when you get people that are like, yeah, me too, that's a good thing. So that's my own philosophy. Is try to share something personal once a week.
Great, thank you. Do you have like a certain time when you do your power hour, or do you kind of split it up throughout your day?
Guess what? This is my full-time job. Whenever my daughter's at work, I work whenever I want. But I still have to focus on doing like the basics. Otherwise I get like ADD. Back to that again. That's why time management is very important. I usually do, I like to work out at 10 a.m. I don't know why. It's just like my time. I drink my shake, get my daughter to school. I'll sit for about 2 hours. I'll work, and then I'll work out, and then I'll get back to work. And about 2:30, when I pick up my daughter, I'm done for a while. She knows too. And that's something I really want to say. I'm kind of rambling, sorry. But early on in my business, I remember I was on a vacation with my daughter, and I'm like, oh, I got to get this message out. And I'm just typing. I'm on vacation. I'm at the beach. My daughter walks over. She's about 5, maybe 4. She closes my computer, puts it in a drawer, and she's like, Mom, let's go play. It's a really big lesson for me. So you guys, really, time management is crucial to your success. You don't want anybody in your life thinking that they don't matter, because they're more important than Success Club points or trips or any of that. So try to have your time management. I'm not really good. Like, I don't have like the exact hours, but I do have a set schedule. And I try to do what I can when I can. Oh, it's crazy. Single mom life. Yeah.
Does anybody else have any questions for Charity? No? Well, thank you. These were great tips. Oh my gosh, I wrote them down. Going back to your number 4, never skipping personal development. If you could recommend one personal development book, or I don't know, podcast, or I don't know, anything that you think really made the most sense to you and helped you the most, what would that be?
That's easy, but I know that it's not for everybody. So don't worry, it won't hurt my feelings if you don't like it. But a friend of mine told me to download this book, and I had no idea what it was about. Well, it's called Money and the Law of Attraction, okay? So I downloaded it, and I just started listening to it. And I listened to it. It's by Jerry and Esther Hicks. I got the Audible audiobook. It's not just about money. It's about life. I'm telling you what, when I was like really sad and heartbroken, when I was going through my divorce, I'd just listen to it. And I don't know if it's magic or not, but the year I really started focusing on law of attraction, that's when I hit my 6-figure year. And I was separated from my ex-husband. I had every reason to not succeed in my life or in my business, but I was like really focused on my personal development and growing my business. Because it would have been easy to just like lay on the couch and cry for like 3 days.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Like, it was crazy. That book changed my life. I still listen to it when I'm feeling, you know, I need to like change my mind.
Right.
The book is called, one more time.
Money and the Law of Attraction.
And you found that from a friend, you said?
Yeah. It's a little different, you guys. I'll tell you, it's a little different. I didn't listen to the intro before I began. I'm just like, oh, this just makes me feel really good. And then I listened to it, and some people are like, this is a little weird.
I like weird. Weird is how we roll.
I mean,
we're all weird.
Well, I mean, it worked for me. Everything isn't going to work for everybody. Like some people really love Greenberry Shakeology, and I'm not so much. So.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. I learned so much about you in the last, 20 minutes than I ever expected to learn. That your story is really amazing, and I'm really glad that you were able to share it with us. If anybody else has anything else to add, that would be the time to do that. Otherwise, I'm going to stop recording.
Oh, just remember, we're all a big family. So you guys, if we're not friends on Facebook, please send me a friend request, and don't be afraid to send me a message. I'm there for each and every one of you, no matter where you fall in the organization. Okay?
Awesome. Thank you, Charity.
You're welcome.